Hey guys, JH. Welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, we're going to carry on today with more explanation on the Twilight Zone. Okay, what I want to do is just formulate a base of explanation that we can use for being able to formulate the swing for ourselves. Okay, the main principle of it, guys, is that, and girls, if there's any girls, that we're pressuring down, and the club is going this way. It's going rearwards. So how do we do that? Conventionally we take the club sideways or backwards, and then it comes forward. Well, here it's rearwards and outwards as a feeling. Doesn't happen that way, but that's the feeling. Rearwards, which is that way, and outwards, as opposed to backwards and forwards. So in order to get that rearwards feeling, I actually feel like the club does that in the golf swing, that it goes straight there. It doesn't, but that's the feeling, that it goes straight there. Now, how do I get it to go there? And how do I get it to go there and keep the pressure on it? The main thing is, guys, that when it goes here, that it doesn't get here and start to float and want to elevate. It's a down-down intention in the golf swing. The pressure is down-down all the time. Down-down-down, backwards or rearwards. And when I say the pressure's down, it's almost as if that under my hands here there's a big spring, and I'm trying to compress that spring and not let it push my hands up. That's probably a good mental picture to have, that there's a spring there and you're trying to compress that spring down and not let it push your hands up. And even on the downswing, I'm pushing that spring down. I don't want to get here, let the hands float, and then let the hands come up. I want to keep that pressure on that toe of the club all the time, pressuring down. Now the profoundness of the feeling, guys, is this, that with my trail arm, that I'm pressuring down so much that it doesn't go that way. It actually goes, if I had a ball in my hand, a golf ball, I would actually throw it that way, as opposed to throwing it that way in a conventional golf swing. I'm actually throwing it that way. I actually feel like my right hand wants to go there. And my hands are so close as a feeling to my thigh, to my trail thigh. They feel like that. They don't get there, but they feel like that. Now the other thing, that in a conventional golf swing, the only reason that we have this plane formation here at address is because this shoulder is static and it's in that position. Now as soon as we start a conventional golf swing and we elevate the trail shoulder and we duck the lead shoulder, which happens in most golf swings, the club elevates. It has to, because the trail shoulder is taking the trail hand and arm up. But what would happen if that shoulder never gained any height in the backswing? Think about that. If that shoulder never gained any height, the club would have to go that way, wouldn't it? If this didn't gain any height in the backswing, it would have to go there. Think about that. The only thing that elevates the club off the plane in the backswing normally is that we start to move the trail shoulder up and the lead shoulder down. And it goes here, it elevates the hands. But if this stays down, watch what happens. Now for this to stay down, this lead shoulder has to stay up. It goes here. Now I think I've mentioned to you before, guys, in Power Golf, and I think it was in Power Golf, there's a picture of Hogan in his original book. There's a photograph of Hogan at the top of the swing where he's like this. His lead shoulder's up and his right shoulder's below it. I've never seen that ever anywhere else. And who's to say that Hogan didn't have this feeling in his golf swing? He never told us about it. Maybe he never knew that he was actually doing that. And it's hard to imagine that he wouldn't know what he was doing. But in order for him to have that look about him in that power golf picture, this had to be going across and the hands had to be pressuring down. So the thing that makes it easier to do, guys, as a starting thought process, if you want the club to go here and have pressure down, keep the lead shoulder up. Keep it up and going across horizontally. Don't duck it like that. And the good thing about when this lead shoulder goes across horizontally, it just frees up this whole lead side. It wants to come across with the golf club. Like that. It wants to come across. But if I duck that lead shoulder, this all locks up here. And the club wants to bounce up. I want to get rid of that bounce. I don't want to have any of that bounce in the golf swing. None. The bounce is elevation, and we don't want that. We don't want any elevation in the hands. We want the pressure down, pressure down, pressure down. I mean, I really want to have that and that. And one of the really important things, guys, is to maintain that pressure down in the downswing. There's not much point in having all the pressure down and going rearwards here if in the downswing we let all that out and the club just jumps up. When I get that elastic bungee cord feeling in the downswing here, is because I'm pressuring down. I'm sure that's what it is. I'm pressuring down on the downswing. I'm not letting any of that pressure down that I had on the backswing escape. It just doesn't get a chance to escape under any conditions in the downswing. Not at all. So that's, and we're over here in the nursery again, guys. We had a lot of rain yesterday and the range was closed and the grass is just so deep. Alright guys, we'll just hit a few. So what I'm trying to do is I want to have this high and do that as a feeling. I want to feel like this. And we don't do that clearly. But as I say, if I can have 100% feeling of that and achieve 10% of that, then I've got a pretty good result. Alright, first shot of the day. So I'm going to get the left shoulder across and keep the pressure down. Okay, dead straight. Okay, we can do a better job than that. Just keep it down, JH. Wow. And all we want to do, guys, is have, the more pressure down you have, the more you will actually have a slower swing. Because pressure down activates all the big muscles. Very strong headwind here today. The winds have come late. These are westerlies, which we always get in August here, and they come straight into us here. But they're late. Alright, now really push it down, Jade. Keep the pressure down. Now guys, as you can see, it's a very compact and essentially a very powerful golf swing. I mean, very powerful. Off a little base, because there's so much pressure down in it. And what's interesting, guys, with this golf swing is that I get tremendous height in the shot, or really good height. I get normal 5-iron type height. There's no shutting down of the golf club, and it just goes dead straight. I mean, no movement on it at all. If anything, just a tiny little draw. Okay, we're really going to pressure down. Left shoulder across. Really good. Now that feeling of pressuring the spring down is a good one, guys, and very much the left or the lead shoulder just coming across. I'll try and do a really good job on the lead shoulder here. Oh, exclamations of joy. I mean, there's just so much zip on. Look, when I say there's so much zip on it for JH. I keep saying I'm no power hitter, but at my age I'm not going to be. But they're really strong shots into the wind, and there's no movement on them. And they're effortless, guys. They really are effortless. The more pressure I can keep down on the downswing here on the toe of the club, feels like on the downswing, feels like that. Feels like I'm trying to pressure it in like that. That's what it feels like. That's as dramatic a feel as it is. Now that really did torque up the shaft, and as I changed direction, and I felt the shaft just basically give up, and that just flips the shaft and just jams it. I mean, there was so much download on it and clamp on that, huge amount of clamp. Now even into that headwind, guys, that ball's not moving. Just hitting quite a few shots because I just want to, this is all learning for me. It's only second day for me, guys. I couldn't get out yesterday because of the weather, so you're seeing it live. Okay, we'll really do a good job on this and we'll really pressure down. Big pressure. Now guys, there's that elastic rebound that I talk about. That is this. When I pressure down there, I get this. That really was a lot of, and I've only got that a couple of times. I only hit on the first video I did for you guys. I only hit a few shots, maybe 20 shots, but I felt that about 2 or 3 times, and that's the first time today that I felt it. Okay, let's do a really good job. I'm going to get the elastic, push the toe in. There's just so much automatic load on the golf club. That's the thing I like. Because you're pressuring down, it's almost like the spring breaks. You pressure it down so much that the spring just breaks. Wow. See, that's probably about 15 in the air longer than those other ones. Now when I hit it like that and I get that type of delivery, it tends to just overwhelm this shaft, as I said the other day. And you just get that really hard power draw. Only moves, 3 or 4 yards, but that's the shaft doing that. Okay, now really do it. Really a lot of toe pressure this time, JH. Left shoulder across. Guys, there's so much automatic stuff that takes place in this golf swing if you do it like this. I mean, I know I'm getting a lot of bang here in the golf swing. I'm not trying to do any of that. All I'm trying to do is keep the pressure down, and by keeping the pressure down, I'm getting all these other good things happening in the golf swing. I'm not trying to do any of them. They're just all happening automatically. I'm not trying to do any of them. Because there's so much pressure that it basically, it's what I call a shear factor. I get back here and I'm pressuring, then there's a shear on the pressure. It gets to the point where and then it just releases. Like an earthquake, like 2 plates pressuring each other, and then they just slide by each other, and that's when you get an earthquake. So maybe this is our earthquake effect golf swing. Okay, let's try and do a really good one. Left shoulder across. It's just, guys, the golf swing feels so tight and compact, but you still get plenty of power. It really is short, compact, and feels really, really small. Little small golf swing. But see, that's 4-iron distance. Absolute 4-iron distance. Guys, I don't know if I can get a 5-iron up here. It's very hard here because the ground is I'm really close to this fence here, but we'll have a look at it. Just really, it's really off-putting having that fence just so close. All right, won't worry about that. Watch it, we just push it down. That's just gone miles. And if you can have a look at that plane, guys, you'll see what we're on about here. Now they're downwind because the wind is coming this way, so they're going like forever, absolute ever. They're going 3-iron distance. Okay, so watch it, guys, going to pressure it down. I don't know if you can see that ball flight, but I don't know how many we've hit, 4 or 5, but they're 5 shots, all exactly the same. And you can just get a look at what's going on here. Feels like that, it's probably like that. I'll just hit a couple of, sorry to walk out of frame, I'll just hit a couple of drivers up here. Guys, it's going to take, you know, probably 4 or 5 sessions of this to work out what's going on. Left shoulder high. That's a good shot into the wind. And it's all automatic, guys. I don't think about having to put the club on the ball at all. Just keep the pressure down. Left shoulder high. That's killed. Absolutely killed. Okay, we'll really do a good job on this. One more. Just smooth this one out. That's just killed. I was doing those other ones quickly because there's a guy coming down here with some cows. He wants to get them through this gate here, so one more. One more and we'll just really smooth this out. Watch this, guys. That's just killed. Okay. Yep, you can come now. Guy's going to bring these cows through. Okay, guys, we'll do some more. But just a little bit more in-depth explanation, but we'll get this right. Absolutely get this right. And there's some really good stuff in here. And I'll come up with a lot more explanation and fine-tuning of it in terms of process and what you can do. So stay tuned, guys. I've still got to come up with a name for it. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Come up with a name for it. Okay, guys, we'll do some more later.